Welcome to today's explainer. I want you to close your eyes for just a second and imagine going about a completely, perfectly normal day. You know the drill. People are heading to work, kids are playing outside, local shops are open for business. Everything is completely routine. And then, absolutely without warning, the ground beneath you just begins to violently move. Buildings shake. Roads crack. Objects fall. People are running into the streets, completely unsure if the next few seconds are going to bring even greater destruction. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Because look, this wasn't just some imagination exercise for thousands of people in Colombia. On August 10th, 2026, this terrifying scenario became their sudden, absolute reality. A massive earthquake struck the western part of the country, registering a staggering magnitude of about 7.4. And what's absolutely crucial to grasp here is just how significant that number is. This wasn't just a minor tremor. It became one of the most destructive earthquakes the country has experienced in decades. In fact, Colombian authorities actually described it as the strongest earthquake recorded in the entire country this century. Part 1. The moment everything changed for Quibdó, Pereira, and the surrounding areas. When this quake struck, it was so incredibly sudden that it gave people virtually zero time to react, instantly trapping innocent people. Part 2. The search for survivors. A literal race against time. Emergency workers and everyday citizens just jumped in, frantically digging through the rubble. And, in a lot of cases, they were digging with their bare hands, knowing that a single wrong move could trigger a further collapse. In the dark, every single sound coming from beneath the rubble mattered. A tiny shift, a muffled cry, it could mean someone was still alive down there. And they did find survivors, which just brilliantly illustrates the sheer resilience of the human spirit. One of the most profoundly emotional moments captured after the disaster was a tiny baby being rescued from the wreckage of a completely destroyed building in Cali. Images of this miraculous rescue spread like wildfire, becoming a really powerful symbol of hope amid just overwhelming devastation. But we also have to face the grim reality of the human cost here. As rescue teams kept searching, the reported death toll rose significantly. Hundreds of people were injured, and thousands more found themselves suddenly entirely homeless. The numbers kept shifting as the operations unfolded, which is a stark reminder of the sheer chaos on the ground. But beyond the casualty figures, we have to look at the profound loss of security. Think about it. For many families, this earthquake didn't just knock down some physical structure. It destroyed a home that took years of hard work to build, completely wiping out their entire sense of safety in literally a matter of seconds. Part 3. Beneath the surface. Why exactly is Colombia so vulnerable? Well, to truly understand that, we have to look at the complex geological neighborhood they're sitting in, where massive tectonic plates interact. Okay, let's dive into this and map out the exact chain reaction. Step 1, you've got these massive tectonic plates that are constantly moving. Usually, it's so slow, we don't feel a thing. Step 2, that movement creates immense friction and pressure builds up over time along faults deep beneath the Earth's surface. Step 3, eventually the accumulated stress becomes just way too great, and the rocks suddenly and violently shift. And finally, Step 4, that massive release of energy travels upward through the Earth as seismic waves. When those waves hit the surface where we live, boom, we experience the destructive shaking of an earthquake. Part 4, Anatomy of Destruction. Why so destructive? Because look, magnitude is really only one part of the story. The exact recipe for disaster relies on all these compounding variables. You've got the earthquake's depth, shallow quakes often cause way more surface damage, then there's proximity to the epicenter, the type of ground beneath the city, the population density of the area, and absolutely crucially, the quality of the buildings. Older or poorly constructed buildings are vastly more vulnerable to strong shaking. This is exactly why two cities can experience the exact same 7.4 magnitude earthquake, but suffer dramatically different levels of damage. The engineering above and the earth below completely dictate the outcome. Part 5. The long road ahead. The rescue is not over. The danger absolutely does not vanish just because the primary shaking has stopped. The road ahead is literally paved with immediate, life-threatening hurdles. Right now, rescuers and citizens are forced to navigate dangerously unstable buildings, all while bracing for aftershocks that could bring the whole thing down. Roads are blocked by debris, making it incredibly tough to move heavy machinery or transport the wounded. Local hospitals are just completely overwhelmed. On top of that, critical life support systems fail. Water and electricity are disrupted. Communication networks go down. Suddenly, you have thousands of displaced people in desperate, immediate need of food, clean water, medical treatment, and just a safe place to sleep. In the face of such massive logistical nightmares, international response becomes absolutely critical. Organizations from around the globe rapidly began responding to Colombia's emergency. To give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, the European Union quickly stepped up with €2 million in emergency humanitarian assistance. That hard figure represents an immediate, vital lifeline for funding the massive resources required to keep the displaced population safe and supplied. So what happens now? Well, the long-term recovery, rebuilding roads, inspecting every single surviving structure, helping families piece their lives back together, that's going to take years. But the mission today is entirely singular. The immediate priority is simply to find survivors. The rest of the whole shebang has to wait until every piece of rubble has been checked and every possible life has been saved. As we reflect on the events of August 10th, natural disasters like this force us to ask a deeply humbling question. Are we ever truly prepared? We can build incredible, towering skyscrapers. We can create advanced technology and connect with literally anyone across the globe in seconds. But beneath all of our modern achievements lies a humbling reality. We live on a planet that is constantly moving. An earthquake doesn't care if you're rich or poor, if you're in a state-of-the-art high-rise or an old brick house, or if you think you are prepared. It simply happens when the Earth's crust suddenly releases energy that's been silently building up underground. Colombia experienced that immense, unyielding power firsthand. The rescue operation continues, the numbers are still changing, and for thousands of Colombians, this isn't just a headline anymore. It's the definitive moment their lives changed forever. It leaves us all wondering, as we stand on this shifting crust, how can we better engineer our world to survive the inevitable? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.